What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Elder Scrolls. So, wrapping up more side story quests today. We actually got the last book in here, the House Darn of Nibene. It was apparently like somewhere around the top over there. But what we're going to do today is continue on with the Farmer's Nook quest. That one apparently I started at some point during the story, but never finished. So that's what we're going to be doing now, wrapping that one up. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, once again, link in the description to the playlist. You can watch it all at your own time. It's all in order. So it's actually pretty interesting, actually. Thought it was pretty good. All right, let me see.
Ah, careful. You might have scared the mayor. Who are you? What do you want? You've come about Bugtail. I knew someone would, but my neighbors have kept their distance since he returned. I cannot blame them. I scarcely wish to take him back myself, not after Igman and Seal, but I couldn't bring myself to turn him away. Yes, or rather, I fear I will share his fate. Bugtail rode out to deliver a horse despite my protest. The gelding returned. He did not. Before I would have been the first to go looking, but I dreaded he'd return, like the others. And he did. Dead, or gone, for now. Even the horses could tell something was wrong with him. I fought with this one's reins as he groomed her, but she started and kicked Bugtail. Ink sprayed everywhere. When I cleared my eyes, it was all that remained. I do not wish to speak of what has happened here, but I will. How many more will vanish and return to haunt us if no one tries to stop it? What is it you wish to know, stranger?
Oh, yesterday I was gonna record it, but I decided not to. Did a veteran rock grove, which is the new trial here. It's not that bad. It's pretty fun, actually.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igman, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
It's kind of weird, bro.
That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by.
Okay.
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igmund passed, I've had to work twice as hard and twice as long to run the inn. It's done my manor no favors. Damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igmund down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke. But it didn't smell like you'd expect. Hair and burned flesh. More like old hay or musty linens. It wasn't natural. I want to know what happened to my brother. Whether he's alive or truly dead. Even if the truth says he really did die in that fire, at least I can put my doubts to rest. What do you wish to know? No. Things were as they usually are in Farmer's Nook. Uneventful. It's exciting times when our little inn sees more than a couple travelers in a month. Ever since Igmund got lost, things have been nothing but trouble. 2 others disappeared since Igmund, and all 3 were acting strange before they met untimely ends. If that's even what you could call it. No one wanders from the village now. Some folk are sleeping in my inn just to stick close.
Wait a moment, stranger. I need to speak with you. So you're the one's been asking questions about the people who've gone missing, then come back wrong? I don't like involving strangers in our affairs, but my daughter's gone. Not the first time, or even the 4th, that Annis has run off, but... well, you've heard what befell the others. I'm worried she's in real danger. A few days ago, I punished her for neglecting her chores again. She must have snuck out in the night. I couldn't find hide nor hair of her in the morning. She hasn't been home since. She's a stubborn one. But normally she'd have come back by now. I just want to know she's all right. I hate asking a stranger to do this, but no one else has the spine to leave the Nook right now. And I can't go traipsing after that rapscallion like I used to. Will you find Annis and bring her back to me? Our house is just over there, on the west side of town. There may be something among Annis's things that points to where she ran off to, but my nerves are too frayed to see it. I'm at my wit's end. She doesn't want to live here in Farmer's Nook, I can tell you that. That girl's been trying to get out of here since she was old enough to walk. She's still convinced she's going to travel to Abba's Landing and join some pirate crew. It's not like I raised her to embrace a life of piracy. It's those books her father got her when she was young. filled her head with ridiculous tales of far-off lands, adventures, and riches. I sailed in my younger days. It's not so glamorous. Sailing is days of rope burns and sunburns. It's being tossed about the cabin while a storm rolls your ship. It's bad food, stale water, and wondering if you'll ever make it home. And that's not the life she's dreaming. And though she won't listen.
This is deep. Alright, let's figure this out. Oh yeah, there's a few antiquity scrying things I have to do. Next, thought I had a few more in the area. I wish you could search by, like, quality tier. So this is the house. Cross the bridge to the right of the rock, and then lots of rocks. Okay.
We don't have much, I know. Anise never fails to remind me. Have you found anything that might lead to my daughter? That's just some old handbill Anise had been hanging on to. Months old. Some vessel seeking fresh-faced deckhands that's long since pulled up anchor. I pitched it to the hearth after our last argument. Probably why she left, but not where. When Anise was little, we couldn't keep her away from it. She'd grab it when we weren't looking and batter the walls and stairs, pretending it was her pirate sword. Drove my husband crazy. I've made do for so long I never bothered to replace it. What's that doing out? Anice's plan for a fort. My husband built it for her when she was about 6. Oh, it must be a moldering wreck by now. Unless... if she hasn't run off to join that elf circus, she might be there. It was east of here, in the hills.
Okay, so assuming this is the house.
Ah, you're off to find this Anise girl then. Tell me what you've learned. I wasn't able to overhear everything. You've been gone for some time. You managed to persuade the locals to share their stories with you, yes? Did their firelight tales share any common themes? Restless phantoms returning to say their last goodbyes before being spirited away once more? This really is beginning to sound like a ghost story. It's all a little too coincidental, don't you think? There has to be a common cause. You and Hesef have been our only visitors at the camp. If Anise has only recently gone missing, there may still be a chance for us to find her before she becomes the latest victim in this ghost story. Do you have any leads? Seeking out a more comforting time, no doubt. Let's hope she hasn't escaped into the arms of a monster. I'll follow your lead. My expertise in stage combat won't do us much good, but I have a few other talents and tricks up my sleeve.
I feel like she's kind of suspicious. Alright. So, assuming I'm right and this was the house, there should be a bridge somewhere. In theory, there's a bridge somewhere. Heh. Oh, I was hard wrong direction. Okay, this is the... Wait, that's not a bridge.
Seems our pirate raided the pantry before she left. I wonder what adventures this tiny sword has seen. I can picture our young heroine, wielding her imagination like a saber and cutting her way through all manner of adventure. I crave adventure and freedom. Play is my only escape. I come here to plan. I fantasize about leaving. Doubt holds me back. I need someone to believe in me. So often I'm alone, but today I have a visitor. Someone I trust. I go with them. I've never been more excited.
You're suspicious, dude.
I believe I have thrust to the heart of the matter. Hear me out. Getting into character, you could say. Preparing for a part is all about understanding my role. How they think, how they feel. Anything and everything about who they are. I have always had a good head for details, and it serves me well as an actress. She's young, or at least young at heart. She's unhappy with her life, but she feels trapped. She has a dream to follow, but she's too scared to go it alone. Only now she's found help.
Mmm.
One place to sleep, yet 2 mugs on the crate, both unfinished. And of course, 2 sets of footprints heading south, into the marsh, dancing all the way. The only way forward is to follow in their steps. Shall we dance too? I don't know who Annie's met out here, but the clues suggest that she wasn't in danger. Yet. We shouldn't dawdle.
There's a good chance she is Anise. Lizard bear.
The tracks lead to this ruin. Did Annie's come in? Despite the smell, I don't think that's a funerary urn. The ashes are too fresh. There are bits of paper in this brazier, but this book is well worn, but hardly old. I believe Annis came here and performed some sort of ritual, and not the sort conjured from an overactive imagination. Whoever she followed here convinced her to make an offering to this place. I'm certain that well-worn adventure book was a dear possession to Annis. She wouldn't have torn pages from it for a lark. She burned them in that brazier with her own blood for some ritual purpose. Daedric rituals weren't on my curriculum in the College of Sapiarchs, but I've studied enough magic to puzzle this out. There's a good chance Annis will return to town, like the others. If she does, confront her about this. If Annis does return to Farmer's Nook, be careful confronting her. The last thing we want is for her to do something drastic and come to harm like those who came before her. Afraid my witty repartee won't be enough to keep me out of trouble? I'm hurt. Trust me when I say I know how to make a dramatic exit when I need to, but if I don't return to town in a short while, assume the worst.
Uh-oh. I still think that alchemy is nice.
Anise, everything all right?
You. Your mother's looked all over for you. Where have you been?
Ugh, I ran away again, all right? Just be glad I came back at all. What's the big deal? This is the 7th time I tried running away in 3 years. Why are they all gawping at me like they're afraid to blink? Do I know? No, I don't know you. Why do you care? And none of those people disappeared. They went after their dreams. I'm not the only one who has those, you know? Nobody wants to be stuck in Farmer's Nook for their whole life. They just didn't want anyone to miss them. It's why I'm here now. I didn't want the last time my mom saw me to be after another fight. But they have to let us go sometime. What? No, it's not like they're buried in a crypt or anything. I'm just trying to say I'm not the only one who felt trapped here. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't even know you.
Same, dude.
I hate to interrupt, but
Oh, they're not the same people.
may we have a word in private? So, that's Annis Favrod. What do you make of her?
I don't think that's her. It would be a weird plot twist, but I think she is, Annis.
How apropos, considering that little library we found is a shrine to Hermaeus Mora. Though I'm still not sure how the Demon of Knowledge fits into this puzzle of ours. Why would Annis consort with it? Perhaps I should have made an offering of my own? It certainly looks that way. I didn't find anything relating to the ritual that was performed at that shrine, but some of those moldy tomes shed a little light on things. The Aliads who used to live out here revered Mora as their principal prince. The shrine we found was simply one of many ruins. I discovered record of another ruin near to Farmer's Nook. If we're dealing with a cult, or some other servants of Mora, it would make the perfect hideaway. What do you say we go check it out? The ruin I spoke of is north of town, not too far. I'll have a word with the innkeeper and Hesef about keeping Annis occupied while we work, but If you wish to speak with anyone else before we head out, I'll wait here. We have reason to suspect that Anise is somehow involved in this mystery. Better to assume she is playing the role of the villain until we know more. Even if she's simply another victim of circumstance, it's safer for everyone that she stay put. This looks right. After you. Adventurers first.
No.
Stand back, you e-swab! You cannot... Ha! Think you can sail with me, wee one? I've felled giants like trees. I've slapped a dragon around until it got down and licked my hand. I've kicked Molag Bal in the arse once, and he begged me to do it again. Ha ha! Answer me this. Why do we sail? And there you have it. What worth is booty if it isn't earned? What is a battle if you don't cut a bloody swath through your enemies? We sail for honor, for glory! Now brace yourself, wee one. You face the Argonian next!
Will the sea swallow you? The high seas run deeper than any river, filled with the blood of enemies. A challenge awaits you, sailor. Are you prepared to give our journey your all? Or will you wilt like a mushroom in summer? Tell me, speak true. Why do we sail? This one erects the spine of disappointment. Earth is Earth. What use is a pirate for the possessions of the dead? All too I erect the spine of respect. I have fought countless monsters alongside the wereshark, yet none has ever bested me in battle, much to my regret. One day, I hope, I will meet that which can kill me. Now, face two scars, and rejoice in Sithis.
Think you have what it takes to join the wit? So, you've impressed the big bear and the hard turtle. So what? I walk in the shadow and sleep in the trees. I drink snake venom and piss-honeyed mead. I'm the baddest, sharpest, meanest pirate on the high seas, but I don't sail alone. Why? Numbers! Goblins have numbers. Mud crabs have numbers. You compare the weresharks... That's right, we're family! Every one of us, from the captain himself to the lowliest swabber of decks, is one big, happy, fierce, terrifying family. No mere crew can hold a candle to us, because we're not a crew, we're blood. Welcome aboard, kin.
Your performance could have used more verve, but it seems the guard... Oriel above. It's Anise and all the others. They appear to be alive.
Dare ye
Let's
cross
try
sabers with
waking
Red
them.
Anise?
Gold. So much gold.
Oh, darling. That's lovely.
Yes. Bring back tale more sweet rolls.
It's a dream. They're all dreaming. This is no normal sleep, but it's oddly benign for a curse. None of these people appear to be in distress. In fact, they seem to be dozing quite serenely. Some of them have been missing for weeks, yet they show no signs of poor health. Not from the spell they're under, no. Though why they were made to sleep and what our mystery stranger intends for them is still very much unknown. I believe so, but I'm not entirely certain we should. Right now, the spell isn't doing any harm, but tampering with it could change that. I'd like to get a better idea how Anise and the others came under this spell before I start striking it through. Now that you've rehearsed your role, let's cast you as a pirate in her fantasy. See if you can reach Anise within her dream and get her to wake up. When you're ready, place a hand on Anise's forehead.
Look alive! The dead have come for us!
Oh, there are enemies over here.
If you came to help, you have my thanks. But it's not needed. Looks like Prince Vogger is going down with his ship. Not that the ship is going down, I mean. It's just... you know what I mean. What did you... No. I'm Red Anise, the Crimson Shrike, and I'll skewer any swab who says otherwise. Stow it, sailor. With Prince Vogger dead, we need to find his treasure. Check his cabin, while I search the rest of the hold. This adventure isn't done until we've secured that treasure. Savvy? That's it then? Well, let's have a look. Prince Vogger's treasure was a book. Didn't know old Deadeyes could read. Well, let's get it back to Captain Wereshark. Maybe it'll help break the curse. Red Anise to you, Swabby. This book, this is about Captain Wereshark and Flicka and the others. I don't understand. This is all a story. But where am I? Why aren't I in the book? I remember it now. I remember it all. Damn it, Cress. You said I could finally escape, and no one would come for me. They wouldn't even know I was gone. That was the deal. Cress said that they would make it so I could finally live out my dreams. I could have this life, and they would take my place. I'd finally be free of Farmer's Nook, and my mom wouldn't ever need to worry about my life of piracy. I know. It was too perfect. I knew it was too perfect. Dreams don't last. That's why they're dreams. Just a few more moments. It was just getting good. I just want to celebrate victory with the captain once before this is all over. Maybe steal a kiss before I go. Please, I can tell you about Cress when we're back in the ruin. Just leave me with the dream a little longer.
Yeah. Alright then.
You're awake! Good. It's been a while since I've worked any magic that didn't involve sleight of hand. Anise is still soundly asleep. Could you not get through to her in the dream? So, She stepped right into the story that's inspired her since she was little. That explains the ritual with that book. How better to keep her under the spell than to put her in a prison she wouldn't want to escape? Insidious. You're telling me this crest didn't take her place? They traded for it? And not just her, but everyone here. What does Cress have to gain from these bargains? To infiltrate the town? What could a sleepy village offer someone who can create dreams? The deal they made isn't so harmless as they might have believed. You've seen how frightened the villagers are. How many more need to vanish before Cress has whatever it is they want? They won't like it, but we should wake them and end this farce. Here we go. Pray that a rude awakening is the worst they have to suffer. It's ready. Wake Annis, and the curse will break.
Farewell, Captain.
No.
All right, so we're awake. Dreams shattered. A life of brooms and boredom ahead. Happy now? Cress is different. They looked like Bugtail when they approached me, but his clothes were covered in ink and he seemed unwell. They confessed that they weren't who they appeared to be, but they needed my help. Cress didn't look suspicious to me, just sad, vulnerable. They said they screwed up again, that they couldn't be who they were trying to be. Cress knew I didn't want to stay in Farmer's Nook, so they offered to take my place. I think they were running away too, from a life they didn't want to go back to. You know how many times I tried to do that? But I could never just leave my mom behind, alone. I thought we'd all be happy this way.
She would not.
Mother?
Where are we? Some kind of tomb? Where's my treasure? Wait, so this is real? Why would he think I'm dead? That's not what Cress promised. He said he'd just be me. He even agreed to do my chores. Was that all a bunch of hogwash? Heck of a way to go. Wait, is Cress dead then? Damn it. I guess there's no hope making another deal.
How could you do this? How could you wake me? Cress said I would live in that dream forever. It was a damned sight better than this. I had a castle, servants, suitors hanging off my every word. I had everything I ever wanted. You don't know what it's like for us, growing up. We had nothing. We still have nothing. Hesef? Hesef seems happy with his plow and his pigs. He's a grown man, and more capable than I am at fending for himself. He doesn't need me anymore. And Cress was supposed to keep him company. We barely speak anymore as it is. Dead? Oh, Hesef, I never wanted that. I suppose I need to talk to him, like we used to. He deserves that much.
So delicious, so moist, and rich and warm. So much frosting. This one can just barely still taste them. The sweet rolls. The most delicious, moist, warm, fragrant sweet rolls to ever leave a baker's oven. Bugtail ate them often. Bugtail had them all. Yes, what else would one dream about? Have you never known the ecstasy of sweet moon sugar cream melting upon your tongue? This one has not tasted true sugar since he left Elsweyr. He has missed it so.
I've had Cinnabon. It's probably the same experience.
So he could, if he were satisfied with iced rolls grown stale from weeks on the road. But when one offers the chance to have them at their freshest and most perfect, always and forever, why would Bugtail not take such a bargain?
thank you for finding my girl. I'd never imagined she'd have gone to such lengths to get away from here. I should have listened sooner. I followed you. I was glad to see Annie's back in town. But I knew deep down that wasn't my girl, and watching her act apart made the worry in my gut so much worse. I had to see for myself. Back at the Happy Crow, I told Brayden he could put whatever she liked on my tab if it kept her occupied. If you wish to find the freeloader, that's where she'll be.
We will trust Mile to see these people safely back to... Try not to judge them too harshly for their grouchiness. We just ripped them from the most pleasant slumber they've ever experienced. We should be off at once to detain Cress. I'll be right behind you. It could be that the two spells were mingling. That's not something seen often. Or perhaps it's simply that this Cress person was also inspired by Anis's dream. Why indeed? It's easy to guess what motivated these people to pursue their wildest dreams, but the workings of this Cress's mind are inscrutable. What would you do if you were them? Would you leap at the chance to live a perfect fantasy? That's the rub, isn't it? Dreams are selfish things. To chase them, you risk leaving things behind, maybe everything. We all have to decide what we're willing to sacrifice in pursuit. Not everyone possesses your sense of obligation. They have a look about them, one I've seen before. It's the look of a skooma addict, sick and desperate on the street, lost without their escape. With the help and support of those who love them, one can hope. Ultimately, it will be up to each of them to decide what's most important to them.
Alright, let's do this.
Hey, you! Have you seen Anise? Have you seen Anise? She ran off. I knew I shouldn't have let Hesef watch her alone. Mile asked me to keep the girl occupied, so I kept her mug full and listened to her go on about her pirate stories. I was getting famished, so I asked Hesef to watch her while I made a stew. That was the last I saw her, until I heard Hesef calling. They were playing cards when she just bolted out of her chair like a snake bit her and ran out the door. He chased her, but Hesef's not much of a runner. Said Anise was headed east, out of town. Mile's going to have my hide for this. Hold on, real Anise? Who was it we've been watching this whole time?
I got this partially correct, like, and fake Anise. Something was up with her. Overall, pretty interesting story so far. Let me just figure the rest out.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. You're the one I don't know. Why are you here? I didn't run away again, I promise. Excuse me? You don't even know me. I am Anise. I can prove it. Ask me anything. I'm her twin sister. I can't be Anise anymore. I know. Maybe I could be someone else. What about you? Can I be you?
Enough of this charade, Cress. Off with your false face.
What are you?
You're
monk.
a Daedra?
Wait! Don't hurt me. I didn't do anything. I just gave them what they wanted. I just want to live, like you. I'm so tired of watching. I don't want to go back. Don't make me go back. To the unbound library of the one who knows. To record what was observed. That is our purpose. To watch your lives and ink the details down. Day in, day out. Always the same. They know it too. The people here. That's why I offered an escape. I kept getting it wrong. Being a person. Despite all I knew, I kept making mistakes. Bad, painful mistakes I couldn't undo. So I had to try again. And again. Life is hard, but that makes it interesting. Please, let me stay. Don't send me back. Yes, please. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I won't cause any more trouble. Well, I don't know what I'll do without a mortal form, but I'll think of something. I need a mortal pack to do anything more than create an illusion. I traded dreams because they are the neighbor of knowledge and within my reach. I don't have much else to offer a mortal in exchange. Correct. The terms are not important, only the bargain matters. If I find someone willing to form a less troublesome pact, then maybe I could stay. The one who knows watches most. The one seeks not to change, but to observe. If the one sees me here, they will know what was once unknown. I would return to Apocrypha and resume the catalog of all things until I've exhausted my knowledge, and the one who knows casts me into the world to observe again. That would not be, in mortal terms, for a very long time. This is where the one who knows sent me. It is what I know. I thought I could live here and no one would treat me any differently. I could finally experience all the things I'd only observed. Friendship, love, family, mead. Mead was good. To know, as they must. Your tiny pupil suggests that is insufficient. The one who knows seeks all knowledge. We observe so that all becomes known. We are the one's eyes, and we are multitudes. Yes, please. I didn't. This is to know. Alone. I suppose I am. I had not considered.
So, this pitiable creature wants to escape its lot in life, too. Even Daedra dared to dream. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't feel some sympathy for its plight. I know that suffocating feeling far too well, and the desperation to escape it. I know what it's like to be blinded by the need for liberation. Cress and I both caused more pain than we ever intended. Misguided as Cress was, I don't believe they acted in malice. There aren't many stories of compassionate Daedra, but it seems at least some of them might be true. The question is, does this little Daedra's story have to end in tragedy? It may fly in the face of common sense, but I think Cress might have the makings of a fine player. They're a bit unrefined, but taking on a new role seems to come naturally, and they'll never forget their lines. I could sponsor them to the house.
Sure. I have no idea.
I thought so, and my eye for talent is one of the best among the players. By the time Cress presents themselves before the Grand Maestro, I will have transformed them into a master thespian. I'll stake my reputation on it. All's well that ends well, as they say. This certainly wasn't the direction I expected this story to take, but a good mystery always keeps you guessing. You were a grand co-star. If we ever adapt Investigator Vale for the stage, I'll be sure to call. All right, Cress. I have a deal for you.
You do? Does this mean I can stay?
No, not in Farmer's Nook, anyway.
Oh. Does it mean I don't have to go back to the library?
Yes, and you will get to live a great many incredible lives.
I can? What do you need me to do?
Watch and learn. You're going to be my apprentice. Now, let's get you a mask.
All right, that was an interesting story. So with that said, I think I am going to wrap up this video now. This is actually a longer quest than usual.
Similar to one of my players. Can you do that?
But with that said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
That will be easy.